please sit down. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, the National Chairman of APC, thank you for your aggressive statements. Members of the National Working Committee, Your Excellencies, the governors present here, Senate leader and members of the National Assembly, co-chair Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC party stalwarts, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I should bother you with a long speech. I think the chairman has said it all very clearly. I'm very pleased with all his observations as a result of what he went through or what we went through as members of this party. I had to leave my immediate constituency and come back to Abuja immediately because I was told of the decision of INEC about 4:45 in the morning. The way the security and other protocols mobilize people ahead and leave them behind when I'm moving, all the same, I had to just tell them I'm leaving, and I left. And I think my statement at the airport, I think said it all. And I don't want to go into too many details. I told them that INEC has all the time and all the resources they had, they wanted. They didn't have to wait for only 6 hours to cast the votes to tell us that it was impossible. Definitely, the reasons why such incompetence manifests itself has to be explained to the nation. After the election, we have to know exactly what happened and who is responsible. Otherwise, our efforts, to make sure that this system we voluntarily accept is not making progress. What is the use if we will accept incompetence? The Constitution and the laws protected INEC, but they must not take us for granted. If, for example, the National Assembly refused to approve what INEC wanted, then INEC could have some moral reason why they couldn't perform. If the time constitutionally of election 4 years after was not obeyed by the government and the system, INEC could have a case. But we do not understand why this inefficiency. And we have to go into details after the election to find out who is responsible. I think this much I will say. I thank the party. I thank the organizers of the party. That was why we sat at the party's level and decided that we must have committed members of the parties in all constituencies to be our agents, committed members of the party. I made that appeal to the chairman of the party. We shared it with the vice president, and at the presidential committee, we said it. And that's why, again, we sat down, we worked out the list the party should do for at least 48 hours for our agents, so that they don't depend on anybody. They shouldn't go and say, I'm going to drink water, or I'm going to toilet. We made all those arrangements, and we put it before the governors and the chairman of the party, where we are in charge in the state, where APC, the governor. Where APC is not the governor, or hasn't got the government, the chairman of the party and the acting and the gubernatorial candidate of the party were given that responsibility. And I am satisfied this instruction has been passed down. So please, between now and Thursday, we have so much to do. And I think we should again go back on our loyal, committed people in all constituencies, so that if anything happens, we have nobody to blame. have to tell our constituencies that they have to be patient and must react in a very responsible way by going peacefully to vote again. And they should depend on party representatives at each polling unit out of 176,000 polling units. We have all calculated it, and they should be there, those who have been given the responsibility to watch the party's interest. And I do not expect anybody to make any disturbance. I have briefed the law enforcement agencies and the military. They have identified hotspots, flashpoints. They should be prepared to move. They too, we have made as much arrangement as possible and resourceful provided as much as the country can afford it. And that anybody who decides to snatch boxes or lead thugs to disturb it, maybe that's the last lawful action he will take. I really give the military and the police to be ruthless. We are not going to be blamed that we want to rig election. I want Nigerians to be respected. Let them vote whoever they want across the parties. I'm not afraid of that. I have gone through, as you said, the whole 36 states and Abuja. I went round. I think I have got enough supporters across the country to look after me. So I am going to warn anybody who thinks he has enough influence in his locality to lead a body of thugs to snatch boxes or to disturb the voting system. He will do it at the expense of his own life. Thank you very much.